Yo, what's up guys, Arsen here. In today's video I'm going to be explaining you how the Oppressor MK2 actually secretly got a buff. Now Rockstar actually didn't tell you guys, but other vehicles in the air also got a nerf with their rockets. Now that means that if an Oppressor goes against an Oppressor, there's no results. If an Oppressor goes against another vehicle in the air, it's no results either. So that means that any other air vehicle that's in the sky that really can't maneuver like an Oppressor, it's pretty much victimized, you know what I'm saying? So I'll explain you on the video clips and hope you guys enjoy this video itself. It's very informational, so check it out. Alright, just to verify how OP it is, we're gonna be going against an Apache that can pretty much shoot a lot of rockets and countermeasures a lot of stuff, and also a Savage. Now, it's pretty much a 2v1, but this is what I'm trying to say. If an Oppressor comes by in around any sort of air vehicle, it's still the same story as it originally was. Now, as you guys can see, the pilots are trying their best to avoid the rockets, but if an Oppressor is coming from behind, the avoiding is just so much harder, especially if the Oppressor can maneuver and then still use the boost. As you guys can see, I'm still not using it, and get more altitude. It's honestly so much more OP because they can't kill me, meanwhile I can't kill them because my maneuvers are obviously stronger, as I'm pretty much a broomstick in the air. In this video clip, you'll see that the Oppressor MK2 is still very good when it comes down to avoiding rockets, because the fact is that the rockets itself or any other vehicle is weak. So that means that it's pretty much doing nothing. Like, I'm literally in this clip using one of the worst weapons an Oppressor MK2 has. It's like the cannon. And if I stand still, like you guys can clearly see, I'm standing still and it's not still getting me. Just look at the clip as raw as it is.
Bro, it's like me griefing right now. That, like, for real though. Like, why are the rockets not getting me, bro? Like, I'm not moving at all. I'm being serious. I'm not moving at all. But the cannon is horrible.
So you guys are probably curious, how is a nerfed rocket in general possible to kill an Oppressor? Well, the answer is no, because it's impossible. Pretty much, you have to get a really good altitude in this clip, as I'm showing you. I'm not on an Oppressor, but you have to understand how it works. You have to come from an altitude. Like, the rocket must come from high ground. Now, the thing with an Oppressor is, like, you can't really get this type of an angle against an Oppressor, which is why it's impossible to kill it. The rockets 99.9% of the time will never get the Oppressor. Meanwhile, the Oppressor can actually do a maneuver from the back, and then it's actually really difficult for a pilot to avoid that. So let's say you're selling a cargo, or you're just going with a chopper to another location, right? This is what's gonna happen from nowadays. Because I see a lot of people saying, oh, our Oppressors are nerfed, now no one's gonna use it. So you're telling me you wouldn't use a vehicle that can do this and not die at all? The thing is, with an Oppressor is, like, you don't need armor. You just don't get shot in general. The rockets are so weak. And of course, a lot of people are probably curious about, hey, what would happen if a Oppressor goes against a vehicle like the Jet, like a Laser or Hydra? Well, to be fair with you, it's just like a no-kill situation. The Laser can't kill the Oppressor, and the Oppressor can't kill the Laser. Rockets are weaker, that means, like, you pretty much both can't kill each other, as it kind of already was in OG days. So it's just like pointless of a fight. But I feel bad for chopper users, man. Like, you can't really do this. And in general, I kind of assume that the Oppressor still has a slight bit of an advantage against this battle, because normal rockets still do have the chance to hit the Laser, especially when you're doing a circle, as I was doing right there. I could have hit a homing off rocket, and this is exactly what happens if done so. So I think the Oppressor still has a massive advantage regardless. Now here comes the biggest question. How to stop an Oppressor? Well, in OG days we used to use an Oppressor to stop an Oppressor. Now this is what happens if an Oppressor MK2 goes against an Oppressor MK2.
I think the results is gonna be no one getting no one. Unless you get FaceTimed. This looks like a dogfight. I ran out of rockets. Let's see if you can kill me if I just do this. You don't have rockets? Okay, so Oppressor MK2 versus Oppressor MK2 pretty much means like no one's gonna get a kill.
Now, as much sad as it sounds, oppressors nowadays, after this DLC, cannot die. Because there's literally no other way to kill an oppressor with a weak nerfed rockets as it's announced, right? But there's one way I'll show you guys, but I'm just saying this right now. It's not going to work in actual PvP fights. It's using vehicles like the Ruiner or like a Scramjet, because those vehicles, as much as they do not have armor, they have insane rockets. Now you guys are probably like, oh, why don't you use a Tornado or let's say like other vehicles like Stromberg? Because they have armor, that's good. That means you can actually counter the oppressor, but their rockets are weak. So this is what's gonna happen if they are after you and they come with defense. Oppressor shoots you, right? And then you shoot at them. They will literally just go forward. So that means that the rockets are weak, and Stromberg and Thermyze also got nerfed to the point that it's literally pointless to use. Now, if you use vehicles like the Ruiner 2000 or Scramjet, which are pretty much the only vehicles left out there to use with great rockets, this will not happen. You will actually dodge, impossible to dodge the rockets. You will end up dying, and the reason you will end up dying is because you have no armor. So the game has been balanced in a way where the oppressor's side is actually active still. The oppressors are just so OP because if the oppressor user sees a Scramjet, sees a Ruiner 2000, well, he can just probably just get altitude and that's it. It's over. Like there's literally, you can't kill the oppressor, right? But if anyone else is on the ground, right, and the oppressor gets the angle that it wants, then you're dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm excluding the air vehicles and any other normal vehicles in the game. It can literally kill anyone. So I guess it's still OP, and I don't know why people are so happy. Guys, watch this video in a really strict way and understand how OP it still is, if not even more. Now keep in mind the oppressor's hitbox is also made in a way that if you shoot it from above, just like how this choppers did, it still won't work. It's literally impossible to kill an oppressor right now because of how weak the rockets are. Meanwhile, obviously the rockets from the back to the chopper are always dangerous. That's why the choppers always like to attack from the front, and that also means that the oppressor is now OP even more. That's my personal opinion, and do not forget that I am one of the worst oppressors users because I literally never use the oppressor. So if I can't do this, just imagine how much worse is it by the hands of a person that actually grieves with an oppressor. Just think that in your mind, and hopefully you understand that why I'm actually willing to see an actual nerf from the oppressor, not this nerfed Coco.